could pull back the veil and we could see into the spiritual realm, we would be shocked at the things that are happening. And even the affairs of human history are orchestrated by God. Isn't it interesting that the United States president, who pushed so strongly for Israel to have its own homeland, was a believer in Christ? Harry S. Truman was a Christian. By the way, he was a Baptist. Probably Southern Baptist. Oh, well. But he was the one who pushed for that so strongly. And isn't it strange that everyone, those in his cabinet, his Secretary of State, so many people were saying, foreign governments, don't do it, that's a dumb move. If you give the Israelis their own homeland, the Arabs in the area will annihilate them off the planet. Don't do it. And isn't that the same kind of thing that Donald Trump got when he decided to move the embassy to Jerusalem? How many people said, don't do it, that's a dumb thing. God used both men 70 years apart in very different ways. And I do not know if Donald Trump is a believer in Christ or not, but I do know that he has a council of faith believers that he relies very heavily on. Pastors from across the country who guide him in many ways. I did not want to do anything without your consent, so that any favor you do would not seem forced, but would be voluntarily. Perhaps the reason he was separated for you was that you might have him back forever. Because he has come to faith in Christ, he can come back to you and you two can be reunited. Not only on this earth, but you will be reunited forever, because the time comes when he will pass. Either of you, you'll be with each other in eternity. And that is the glory of being a follower of Christ. We know that when someone passes who is a believer in Christ, that we will one day be reunited with that person. We will see them again. And when that happens, we will be with them forever. No longer as a slave, but better than a slave, as a brother. You can have a relationship with this man that you never had before. It was master-slave relationship. Now you can have a relationship of having him as your brother in Christ. Wow. Who would have thunk? Is that a word? I don't think is a thunk. Thunk is a good word. Anyways, that a slave and his former master would become brothers in Christ only by the power of God. Only through the power of the gospel could that possibly have happened. He is very dear to me, but even dearer to you, both as a fellow man and as a brother in the Lord. So if you would consider me a partner, welcome him as you would welcome me. If you consider me to be a partner in the gospel, then do the right thing. Welcome him back, not as a slave, but as a brother in Christ. If he has done you any wrong or owes you anything, charge it to me. What does that tell you about Paul? He was absolutely committed to this reconciliation. And he didn't know what kind of things might have transpired. And a lot of times when we get close with people, there are some certain skeletons in the closet that you just don't like to bring out and share with people. And there may have been things going on between Onesimus and Philemon that Paul didn't know about. But he says, if there is anything, send the bill to me. I'll take care of it. Wouldn't that be nice? If you were in the store sometime and you went to check out, and the cashier said, no, you don't owe anything. The person ahead of you just paid for everything. And we hear about that usually at Christmas time, when people who have stuff on layaway, usually people from Middle America, at stores like Walmart and Target, that somebody will come in with a large check and say, here, pay off as many as accounts as you can, call these people, tell them to pick up their stuff, that it's all paid for. Imagine being on the receiving end of a phone call like that. Come in and pick up your order, it's paid for, you owe nothing. Paul is saying, send me the check, whatever it is. And Paul again has no idea what that even might be. I do wish, brother, that I may have some benefit from you in the Lord. Refresh my heart in Christ. Confident of your obedience, I write to you, knowing that you will do even more than I ask. So Paul is pleading, believing that Philemon will do the right thing, that Philemon will accept Onesimus back, not as a slave, as was their former relationship, but this time as a brother in Christ. And that's what I've got for you today. Are there any questions, any comments? And listen to those amen choirs out in the woods, those birds singing. Well, thank you. Thank you.